guys, I know you can't see anything right now. It's probably 20 minutes or so before legal shooting light. Maybe a little more, but things are starting to get light out. I have basically like a little bit of a clear cut. It was a clear cut. We turned it into a food plot years and years ago. But we haven't touched it for quite a long time, so it's just overgrown berry brush and just overgrown everything really. But you can see light in the clearing. I made a deer blind. I shot right where I'm sitting. It's pretty much where my 4-pointer died last year. Not exactly, but almost. But things are starting to get light out. I've had doe and spike horns coming through here at any time from like 6:30 a.m. to about like 9:40 a.m. So we're gonna see what happens, but you gotta stay tuned. Alright guys, so it's almost 7 o'clock right now. I haven't seen a deer yet. Not really any activity, but as you can probably tell, you can probably hear it's raining pretty good. I have a feeling that this rain, it's pretty windy too. Not wicked, but it's windy and rainy, so I have a feeling this bad weather's either caused them to move last night, which I haven't checked my trail camera yet. They've either moved last night through here to get to bedding, or it's causing them to stay bedded down longer, and they haven't moved yet. See, down straight ahead of me, where I believe they're bedding, it's a bunch of softwoods. So a lot of cover from the rain and elements. It's down like in a little gully. So they might feel pretty secure there, but I'm a little ways away from bedding, but this is one of their runways that they run through pretty frequently. So see right there, I got one shooting lane there, and I have another shooting lane right there, right at the tip of my broadhead there. So stay tuned, we're gonna see what happens.
Alright guys, so I'm back in the truck now. I stayed till 9:45, I believe. The rain kind of let up for just a second. It never stopped raining, but it let up, and then it just started to downpour. So it was kind of to the point where if I did hit a deer, and if it ran out of sight before it dropped, and then it most likely would have washed away the blood trail, but I wasn't really willing to take that chance. And I'll show you here. It's raining pretty darn good. So I don't know, I didn't really want to, but I don't really think the deer are gonna move in this anyways, just because it's raining so hard. It's starting to get a little windy, so I just decided to wait it out. And if it seems like it's gonna stop raining before tonight, then I'll probably go out and do a night sit. But if it's gonna keep on raining, I know it's definitely supposed to stop tomorrow, like right at daybreak, so that would be perfect. The deer will be moving like crazy. All right guys, we are back. As you can see, it's still raining, but I think it might be a good night. We looked at the weather forecast, and It says from like, I think it was like 320 to 340 it's supposed to stop raining, and then again it's supposed to pick up, the rain's supposed to pick up, and then it's supposed to stop completely at 450. So I'm hoping once that rain stops and these deer have been kind of pinned all day by it, that the activity will start happening and maybe we'll get pull a shot off on something.
It's really wet outside. This rain, I hope it stops soon. That's what we're looking at right there. It's one way. And there's a clearing behind me. So, we'll see what happens. It is the next day. I came back last night, as you saw in the video, but I ended up leaving right around, I think it was just about 5 o'clock. It was downpouring way too hard, way too much rain. So, it's still raining now. It's been raining now for like 26 hours. Alright guys, we're at another new stand location in our woods. You can see I got a water hole right there. And I've had one lone doe using this location. Not really on the regular though. She's only been here twice in a week, but honestly that's the most deer activity that I've had in 3 weeks. It's pretty kind of almost upsetting, because usually every year I'll have at least a lot of deer on my cameras, but this year it's a little bit different. There's so much other food around that they're just everywhere else but here. Just trying to make the best of it, I guess. See if we can get lucky. But what can you do? But it looks like a decent location. We're kind of set up in our sugar woods. You can see the pipeline and stuff. But we'll see what happens. I did see I think it was a cow and a calf moose track when I came up, when I was on my way up here tonight. So that'd be cool to see if we could see a moose. But what's going on tonight, guys? So tonight is a good night to be hunting. We have a wind that's blowing to the east, and it's blowing my scent right uphill, away from where the deer are. This was kind of a last minute stand decision, because I moved my climber up to a water hole and I made a mock scrape there. But the deer action on our property has been little to none lately. I think they've been down in the cornfield, but I think they've started chopping it, and
that means the deer are no longer going to be bedding in the cornfield and eating in the corn. They're going to start moving up and looking more for browse. So that's good. But this was kind of a last minute stand location. This is my tree blind. I don't know if you can see, it's not finished yet, but you can see my chair that I got here. This is actually the chair I shot my rifle buck out of last year, except it sits a little too low to shoot over the walls. So I just put this 2x4 in here. I don't know if you can see it, but I put that 2x4 in there to lift me up, so which worked. So this is the view. But so those are all raspberry leaves, raspberry bushes down there. I'm gonna try to turn this into a plot next year possibly, but for right now it's just overgrowth, and there's some browse down there. But that over there is where I have my stand, right in that little clump of spruces. But I should have a decent shooting lane as long as they hug the edge of the woods on this side, and should be good if there is even deer that come through. Down here, that's a pretty major runway, and there's another runway that comes up from over there and leads this way. So we're kind of hunting a split runway here. There's a little bit of food, a little bit of browse, and it's thick spruces down below me. So we got the perfect wind for this. So I'm gonna sit down here and hunker down for the rest of the night, but I'll get back to you. Forgot to mention, it's also been raining a bit today, and this is like the real first cold front we've had. Say a cold front, but anything could be a cold front if it's, you know, a drop of 15 degrees or more. I think it's like 45 to 55 maybe out right now, and it has been like 60s to 70s, so that's a good change. Okay guys, we are back at it again tonight. I think it's gonna be a good night for it. The way the wind is blowing right here, it's kind of blowing, I think, northeast, I believe. So it'll be an okay hunting day. That's actually not a bad wind for the stand I'm going to. I'm just gonna spray down the boots with some scent killer before we go, just to cover the ground scent. Hopefully I'll get a shot at a buck or a doe. I don't really care what it is. I just like to meat mainly. But I'm just gonna spray down my pants just a little bit, just because there is a little bit of grass we have to walk through on the way to the stand. I'm just going to my shooting shack again, actually, but that'll be good enough. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to the shooting shack and just set the camera up. Should be able to have a pretty decent shot from that stand, like I stated in the video last night, but I couldn't talk quite as loud, so I'm not sure if you guys heard me or not. I haven't seen a deer yet in the woods this bow season, so it's pretty depressing, but we're gonna stick with it and hopefully it'll work out for us. But
Okay guys, so we're at the blind right now. I think I said it last night, but the blind is not finished yet. You can see I started spray foaming all the cracks. I was gonna spray foam all the walls completely full, but all that spray foam you see, that was 4 cans. So I was like, no, I'm not paying that much money for spray foam. So I'm just gonna try to find some free insulation board, blue board or just anything really that's insulation. I just don't want any fiberglass because the mice get into fiberglass insulation bad. But yeah, so this is my view right here. So right out in front of me, that's just packed down from the truck.
But it's pretty crazy. Right where I did pack it down, there's actually some green grass starting to come back up, which is good for nighttime feeding. Maybe they'll come in, start browsing on that little road I made with the truck. I did want to cut some of it with the lawnmower, but I never got the chance to. I've been working out of state in Maine, so my time for management is very limited. But yeah, like I said, this is my view. Pretty nice view. So I did find a couple of buck scrapes today. I call them buck ponds because they pop the ground, but don't matter either way. But there was a couple of them down on this runway. They're here every year, but it seems like the bucks have just moved back in, I should say. They were here and then they left because there was no food. But I think now, this cold snap, they're preparing for pre-rut, and then they're gonna move eventually into rut in November. But they're starting their runs and getting their lines picked out. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe one of the bucks will come through tonight and we can make a shot on it. Or if a doe comes through, that'll be good too.
You probably can't see me. Whew. But I did hit that deer. There's a shit ton of blood on the arrow. It's completely covered from broadhead. The fletchings are green and white, and they're absolutely red now. So what happened was, he came in. It was a fine shooting lane that I had, but it wasn't the one that I wanted it to be. So he was about 30 yards, and like I said, I don't know where I hit him. All I know is that I shot him. He took like 6 pounds. I probably ran 10, 15 yards. And then was kind of just walking. He stopped there for a minute and just started walking. So I don't know if I made a hit on him or not. But I'm gonna call my wife and let her know. And I'm probably gonna get some flashlights and stuff. But we'll see.
Alright guys, so as you see, I ended up getting the deer. He's down. So it's a spike horn. I think I might have got the shot on camera. I know I had the camera pointed at him. Whether or not these GoPros don't really pick up, like I've noticed in the mornings and in the later afternoon, they start to not pick up light very well. So I don't know if I got him on camera or not. But yeah, he went down. He's only 15 yards. I can't believe I didn't see him go down from my deer blind, which I'll show you. I'll show you everything right here. Let me get my headlamp, and I'll show you exactly what happened. Okay, so I have my wife here with her car to shine some lights. But alright, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but over there's my blind. That's what I've been hunting out of for the last couple days. I just put a little chair up there, metal rocking chair. But so that deer, there's my blind. He came from this wood line, which is where I shot my 4-pointer from last year. He came straight out of there, and then I thought he was gonna go down there eating the raspberry bushes and stuff, but he ended up not. He ended up walking up this way, took a couple bites of grass right there, and then he just started walking this way. And I knew I couldn't shoot him over that stuff there. I knew right there was my opening, so I set the pin for 30 yards. I didn't even have time to range find him, to be honest. But he came out here, I shot him from right there, 30 yards, and he ran this way, took about 6 bounds, and then he stopped. And I thought I heard him walking away, but must be it was just him kicking the leaves a little bit. And I thought for sure that, because he was still moving when I got out of my blind. I got out of my blind probably 8-9 minutes after the shot, because I thought he was already way in the sugar woods. But it turns out he just ran over here. And he made it to right here, 15 yards probably. But you can see it's a big bodied spike horn. It's just like my first ever deer I ever shot. Same body, same horn, same hooves. I mean, he's just a big boy overall. And I ended up shooting him with my Hoyt Pro Defiant bow, and I am running the Easton Access 5mm arrows. Oh, that's not the right broadhead. That's the right one over here. And I'm using these Rage Hypodermic no collar. So there's no collar on them, so they're just self-locking. Very accurate broadheads too, by the way. But so this is where I hit him right here. Here, little Q, come here and hold this light for me, please. And shine it right on that entrance wound. So I hit him a little bit far back. It was at like the last 2 legal minutes of shooting light. Unfortunately, I hit him a little bit far back. I was shaking like a leaf, even on the spike horn, to be honest. But I hit him right there, and he was quartering away. So I'll flip him over. Oh, big boy. And I hit him. I believe I took out his femoral artery and part of his liver. But I gotta get this guy gutted out. He definitely got hit. But all right, guys, here he is in a little bit better lighting. Might be able to see him a little bit better. Hey, Lily, can you bring out my headlight? Did you hear me? Okay. Here he is in a little bit better light. He's so close to being identical to my first ever deer. It's crazy. And almost in the exact same spot, which is also very cool. But all right, I gotta get this guy gutted out, and I'm gonna get back to you with weight. Just figured I'd give you a little bit better view of him in the light. All right, guys, so unfortunately, reporting station is, all the reporting stations around us are closed because it's what time? Like 8:20?
20 exactly.
Good guess. So it's like 8:20. So what I did was just rinse the deer out in good shape, just to make sure, because it was a gut shot. Luckily it hit the artery, otherwise I would have been still waiting to track him. But I'm gonna take, and where it went through the guts and then into this hunk of meat, you can kind of see the meat is contaminated in there. So what I'm gonna do is just take my knife and cut that section of meat out so it doesn't spread any farther. But I'm gonna take tomorrow morning off of work and go weigh it in, and I'll get back to you. Well, we just weighed in the deer at the weigh-in station, and it was 115.4. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deer hunting video. Definitely had some struggles getting onto deer at first, but we made it happen. So if you liked it, go ahead and comment and subscribe, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and we'll catch you on the next one.